The from event creation operator lets you create observables from DOM events as well as Node.js streams. From event is one of the most heavily used creation operators and one you will find yourself relying on quite heavily in your work with RxJS. Let's take a look at how from event lets you easily turn a DOM event into an observable stream. So we'll start by importing from event from RxJS. All creation operators are imported from RxJS, where pipeable operators, which we will learn about in the next section, are imported from RxJS/operators. Next, let's create a constant called source to represent our observable stream we are going to be creating using from event. From event requires a few arguments. The first is the event target or element. For instance, this could be the entire document, it could be a button, an input box, whatever the element is you wish to add an event listener to. For this example, we're just going to supply the entire document. Behind the scenes, when subscribed, this will call add event listener on this element, supplying the second argument, which is the event we wish to listen for. For now, let's just listen for the click event on the document. Now, in order to observe this click stream, we need to subscribe. If you recall from the opening lessons, observables are cold by default, meaning the producer is not activated until subscription. In this case, that means the event listener is not registered until we subscribe. So let's call subscribe on the source observable, and we need an observer to pass the subscribe method. Let's go ahead and create that now. So we'll create a constant called observer that will contain the callbacks for next, complete, and error notifications. For next, we can just supply a function which takes the value emitted from the source and logs next with that value. Let's go ahead and do the same for the error callback, except we will log error. And for complete, no argument is supplied, so we'll just log complete to the console. Now we can pass our observer object to the subscribe method to receive emitted values from the from event observable. Let's save and run the example to see how it looks. Anytime we click on the document now, our observer is pushed to the click event by invoking the next callback we registered when we subscribed. So if instead of click events we wanted key up events instead, we could just swap out the event name we were passing to from event here. Now when we save and press down on the keyboard, we can see the key up events being logged rather than the click events from before. It's worth pointing out again that each subscription creates its own execution path. So in this case, if we add multiple subscribers, a new event listener is being created on each subscription. When I save now, we have 2 events being logged on each key up event. Let's actually assign both of our subscriptions to variables so this behavior is more clear. So I'll create a variable called sub1 to hold the first subscription. Next, let's create a variable called sub2 to hold the second. Now let's add a set timeout to unsubscribe from one of these subscriptions after a certain period of time. So let's say after 3 seconds, I'm going to log unsubscribing to the console, and I'll unsubscribe to subscription 1. This will close the observable and remove the event listener that was registered. When I save, you can see at first we are getting both events logged. Then we unsubscribe to the first subscription, and from that point, only one event is logged due to the active second subscription. So why is this important? Well, there may be times you may no longer be interested in a stream of events you have subscribed to. For instance, you may have registered multiple event streams on a certain page within your app, and when you leave the page, they are no longer relevant. In these cases with long-running event observables, it's important to remember to clean up your subscriptions as they are no longer needed, as leaving them running could cause unintended consequences or memory leaks. Luckily, RxJS exposes a variety of techniques for managing and automating this completion and unsubscription process, which we will explore in great detail in lessons to come. To recap, from event gives you an easy way to create an observable stream from DOM events. It is one of the creation operators you will use most often, and we will see it in many more examples moving forward.